Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Riled Up. I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew, and I'm having some volume problems that are totally screwing me up.
Oh no.
No, it's all right. I wanted to listen to you say, "Hi, I'm Dan," 17,000 times.
Oh, yeah, you got the streams up. Yeah, mute.
Yeah, I'm fine now.
You're good.
Eh, Yeah, no, I'm also a player.
Oh, and I'm a collector. And we've had an eventful week. I mean, not Flesh and Blood in particular, but we have, I
Well,
would say.
I mean, you did have a pretty eventful Flesh and Blood week. And I mean, I got to draft Arcane Rising here in my hometown, so that was pretty awesome because we don't actually have any armory stores or anything like that here. But I got a couple new friends and we gave it a shot, and 5 of us drafted. Would have been 6, but they came down with a stomach bug. So that's gonna be good. But I have to talk about something that happened the other day. The store that I always go to didn't get a pre-release. And granted, there's not that many of us, and they only do it every other week because I guess the guy just doesn't want to commit to being there to actually host the event every single Saturday. He's got another job, he probably just can't stretch himself that thin. Anyway, it's not that important. But whenever I found out that they didn't have one, I actually emailed LSS and was like, "Hey, I mean, I'm really disappointed. Like, I love the game. I've been to every single pre-release since Monarch. I started right whenever Crew First Edition came out. So, I mean, I've been super invested in the game, and I didn't say anything like, "Oh, I'm mad at you guys." I'm just like, "Hey, this sucks. You took it away from a store that had it." And you know what? They emailed me back within an hour that they were going to send them an invite.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I was really surprised at like how fast that turnaround was, and that they even responded. To be completely honest with you, all right, like a company that size.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've talked to them before. They have open communications because, stores from all over the world need to be able to email them. So it makes sense that they look at that type of thing. But the fact that, seeing something where somebody who cared about an organized play event, they were just like, well, hey, squeaky wheel gets the grease, because I imagine that there's probably a lot of stores out there that don't do very big numbers, and they just don't give them an invite, and then nobody even says anything about it. But like, if a fan actually tells them like, hey, this is the only one I go to, they'll send them a small kit. I talked to the store owner and he's like, yeah, it's super limited. It's only going to be enough for 12 people. So I think he's only going to get like a box or 2 or something like that. It's very limited. And I'm like, that's okay. If every single person I could think of who had ever been there would only be 10 people. So like, if your store didn't get a pre-release this time because they're very small, just let LSS know. Like, hey, we might be small, but we do actually really care about the game, and seems like they'll send a small package, but they'll make sure that you get something. And that's I don't even I
And it's just great
I was
customer service,
floored.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, like you said, like our first sets were Crucible first. So originally we were gonna have like a meetup, but car issues and life and all that jazz happened. So I just had this box of Crucible first, sitting around, and I was like, well, I need to open this, right? So yesterday I had an opening stream. VOD's still up on YouTube and all that if you want to go check it out. But I opened this gambler's glove, right? Super cool, right?
Oh yeah, that was the best thing you opened for
Best thing.
sure.
Oh, I mean, it's
I
one
mean,
cold foil, right? There's only one
I,
cold foil per box. I mean,
I
this
mean,
is
I mean,
it right
honestly,
here.
Dan, what is that garbage? I have one of those.
Oh, you have one of these? Oh, that's crap. Well, I also pulled out one of these little guys. Are you familiar with Arcanite Shard?
I think that there's a popular hero named Viserai that actually doesn't use that all the time, but
Oh,
they're
I wish I
definitely
could show it
like
better.
baller.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I had to figure out what to do with this thing. It's just been sitting around on my table. I just keep staring at it.
You shouldn't rate it. You should just sell it. Its pants are too high and it's leaning to the left.
It is. It's not. It's very misaligned. And I was thinking, I'm like, this card is 4 cases of the hunted. That's kind of like where my head's at. So I'm like, man, I gotta
Are you
try to move
actually
it.
in the headspace to want to go in on 4 cases of the hunted? You weren't. I wasn't entirely sure that you were like hype on it. You feel like
I
it might be bad.
I think I'll buy a couple just because like the first couple weekends pricing goes crazy and you can like make a tidy little profit. But I mean, after that, it's just kind of probably give it a month or two and wait, and then go back to some other tried and true sets.
Funny thing is, I wonder what cards they'll actually make good, because I feel like the other sets are what's going to actually go up in value. Like Outsiders was already creeping up, but I have a feeling once we actually get into the meta that Codex and Flick Knives are going to keep going.
Yeah, I'm still on the boat that with how much they're hyping up the expansion slots this time, which I just don't remember them ever doing before. I don't want to say I think they know they have a turd on their hands, but like, I think this is definitely going to be a set that raises other ships and not itself. Unfortunately, I don't know. I'm very pessimistic about this one.
Well, I mean, if the expansion slots have like, well, do you think that there's going to be reprints in the expansion slots, or do you just think that it's all like the new stuff, like Ring of Roses?
I think it's all gonna be new.
Okay.
So I really think that it's gonna be a lot of old support, and then I mean I gotta tell you, I did spend the New Year's week. Oh my gosh, it took so long. I thought the EV sheets were mostly done, but to finish it out, it ended up taking me like 9 hours straight to get them done. And so I have it. I have all the numbers. We'll be talking about them later. But
Oh yeah, we can't really talk too much about them now, or you like give away some shit.
yeah, I don't want to give away anything yet. But it did really make me think about the expansion slot, like the value of it, the value in like the Majestics, and looking back at like some sets like Uprising really just makes me even more pessimistic about the hunted. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I do not plan on going hard in on it outside of like opening weekend.
Well, at least on opening weekend, you should be able to make decent amount. Except for the cards I buy off you, because I only buy the cards that go up.
Right. Yeah. That was another little fun, mail call with the openings yesterday, and I talked about buying the 3 widespread ruin, destruction, and annihilation.
Man, to be honest with you, the mail call was all like, if it wasn't for the shard, the mail call might have been more exciting, because that was a lot of widespreads. I know you told me that you went hard on them because you thought you had a lot of faith in Vinset after showing call, but like, damn, that was a lot.
yeah, I went in. Like I said, most of them have doubled already, so that's great for me. And even better, someone sent me the extended art instead of for ruin instead of the standard one. So I basically paid $2 for a $70 card.
Yeah,
so
that's
that was
pretty insane. And I feel bad because you just had it all in a stack, so it was just like, oh, well, it was next to all these other friggin' widespread ruins that I got. Like, there's no real way to know which one of you guys it came from. Did anyone message you?
No one's messaged me.
Oh, okay. You would think that if they would have realized that they would have said like, hey,
I just don't think they do. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, actually, I think back to opening. Shoot, was it Everfest? Everfest had, which had the alt art. No, it was Tales of Aria. I
Oh, with the
opened up.
channel like rigid.
Yeah, I remember opening it and being like, wait, did they misprint it? Like, I just didn't realize when I was opening at the time that they had an alt art. And I was like, oh, what the heck? They're stupid printers. You know, I was all mad and I was like, I can't believe this crap. And then I looked at it and it was like $180. And I was like, oh, okay.
You got that
Which,
graded, didn't you? Or did you just sell it?
Yep. I have it graded upstairs.
What'd it get?
I think it got an 8 or a 9. It wasn't like my highest. Yeah. It's whatever. But that was kind of what I was worried about with like the shard, because it's so misaligned. I was like, I wonder what the pricing for like a 7. Like I was gonna wager, I don't know if it's as bad as a 7. It might be like an 8, 8.5. Because everything else seems to look fine on it.
Did you look at the
But-
back corners? Because Crew and all the first 3 first edition sets are like notorious for having like a white speck where they got blasted in the corner.
Oh, I don't see any white specks.
Because that's actually like pretty rare. I mean, if you might have really nice
okay.
corners. If you have really nice corners, I might still send it.
Oh,
Like-
maybe. Well, I don't know if
Yeah.
it's dust on the pack or if it's the corner. I'd have to
It's-
take it out. I don't know if
It's
I'm gonna do
probably
that.
the corner. Yeah. It really sucks that it's the last card in the pack.
Yeah, I thought of that immediately as soon as it was opening. And I was like, man, all the damaged tokens I tossed out of packs, and then they put the most valuable cards back there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because like within the first minute, or like you opened up the first pack and you were like, "Oh, I wonder how this pack is set up," and I was like, the worst way possible.
Yeah. Oh man. And the other thing I was thinking about is the rumor is that there's only 400 Heart of Findels and was it Eye of Ophidia from first?
Yeah, the cold foils. Yeah, because
Cold foil? Yeah.
in first edition.
So, I mean, if it is 400, which I'm still not 100% sure on, because I think I did the math on it earlier, because James White used to say it had the same print numbers as Alpha Black Lotus, which I don't think was only 400. I think it was a little higher than that. I thought it was closer to 600, but
I don't think that it's exactly 400, because I think the way that rumored number came into existence is that if you take the print numbers, which is 16,666 boxes, and divide it by 40, that's how many hearts are estimated. Like, I don't know if it's actually confirmed. Like, this is the set number. Like, I would say the guesstimate is that.
yeah. So, but Crucible was just double that, because so Alpha Arc and Alpha Welcome to Wrath both had the same number.
So
And then Crucible
had like
doubled.
33,000? Is that what it was?
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
so
that.
I mean-
yeah.
I mean,
So it's
maybe you
got-
got somewhere in the round like 800, 900 of those.
Yeah. It's pretty rare. I don't know. I both want to grade it and keep it forever, and then also sell it and buy 4 cases of something. I don't know.
It's about as rare
It's-
as an alpha legendary.
Yeah. Which I've got 5 on the way. I promise, right?
Sure you do.
Yeah. I mean, going through those EV sheets, I learned a lot of things. I found 5 alpha Welcome to Wrath cold foils, right? Because no one would screw that up. These definitely cold foils. And all 5 tectonic plates, $40 a piece across 2 different sellers. So one of them mailed it with no tracking. I'm sure that's going to get lost in the mail. Then the other 4 haven't given any shipping notification in over a week. So
Wait, so it wasn't even all the same seller?
no, that's why I think it's real, because the first person or one person had it at like 40 something in a new condition, but they don't sell Welcome to Wrath. I went through the rest of their cards. Like, they had like 2 or 3 cards from a whole bunch of stuff, which also means it's probably not real. But then the next seller, who is a more reputable and well-known seller. They had 4, but they just underpriced them by like $1 and listed them. So I think that was a pricing rule screw up. And
Yeah, there's
we'll
no way
see.
you're getting this.
Nope, I'm getting it. I mean, I pulled the shard. I got the free extended art widespread ruin. Everything is coming up Millhouse, so we'll see.
It would honestly be totally insane if you even get one.
I know. I'm I don't. I mean, I would want to sell it, but I also would not want to sell it. I think that's. Cause, I mean, what are the chances? What are the chances you just get a cheap alpha cold foil like that? But yeah, there's a bunch of really interesting things as I was going through the EVs, and I was like, this is pretty fascinating. I found little tidbits here and there, and I was like, why don't we make a game out of it? So this will be a quick one. This is a quick game. I'm gonna put you through the ringer, see your knowledge on sets, which I think is probably better than mine. So some of these things were new to me, some of them were not, but it's nothing too crazy. I'm trying to remember how I did this last time. I'm gonna boom, 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 boom. And it's only 10 questions, just 10 questions. I will say that, oh, we gotta go, sorry, we're gonna swap scenes over to this way. Oh, perfect. It was just automatically there. I didn't have a lot of time to decorate all the slides.
You had a lot of time to decorate.
Wow, no, this is just standard decoration. So this is...
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, good. This is the set breakdown quiz. We're going to ask you 10 questions about the set releases. Specifically,
okay,
not about any particular cards. Well, you'll get the gist of it here.
Sure.
Question 1. Starting with Crucible, all sets have I should have phrased that better.
I don't.
1 in 4 packs for Majestics, except for what?
Okay, starting with Crucible, all sets have
1 in 4 packs are Majestics.
Okay, which would mean that's an average six per box. So
right.
So starting with Crucible, it's about 6 per box, except for 1 set.
Yeah, it was a 1 in 12 pack for Arcane and Welcome Wrath, because they had the super rares at 6, 1 in 6.
I'm pretty sure that this is Outsiders.
It is Outsiders. Congratulations.
Was it more or less?
Less. It was a 1 in 5. 1 in 5 packs. Yeah.
Which is crazy. Maybe they did that because of the 3 codexes being in it. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a weird set. Which we'll see as.
You would think that would be pretty great for cracking, because like clumping does happen. If you're getting Majestics more often, hopefully you could clump into a Codex of Frailty.
No, less often.
Oh, I thought it was.
1 in 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry, I was thinking the 4 and the 6. I was like, oh, it's 1 in 6 packs. No, it's 1 in 4 packs. So yeah.
All right. Which set was the first to include a breakdown of the premium foil slot? Because originally, the original sets all just said 1 premium foil, but this set, they started to do a breakdown of how many packs you get, like a Rainbow Foil Majestic, a Rare, a Common.
I'm going to have to take a stab at this one, and I'm going to guess that it is Dynasty, because that was when they started talking about like the per pack odds for like imps.
Nope, it was a little later than that. It was Heavy Hitters.
Oh, so this is when they say like Marvel X number of packs, like Rainbow Foil X number of packs or something? How did they break it down?
Oh, well, just
I did not know that.
just actually literally under premium foil. So like up to heavy hitters, it would just say premium foils, 1 per 24. And
Okay.
then starting in heavy hitters, it said premium foils like 1 per pack, but then it also went like commons were I think 20 out of like 24, like rares were like 3 out of 24, or I think maybe it was a
And
little higher than that.
one was
Yeah.
24.
Yeah, but that's how we figured out Majestics go to a 1 to 18. I always thought it was 1 to 4, which I'm not sure when I still think it was, or not 1 and 4, 1 and 16, but because it was like a 4x of the Majestic
Yeah, but it
pack
seems
pool.
to actually even more rare.
Yeah. So,
Which
but
I
that
mean,
was,
the numbers speak for themselves when you start looking at these expensive ones. Like the meta foil Majestics go wild.
they really do.
Yeah,
I know,
we got a little buddy on cam.
oh, look at that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you had
trying
another
to
one
keep
in the
track of
background
my
earlier, but not on the stream, on your Discord. And I was like looking over at your Discord. I was like, oh, there's a cat. And then I was like looking up at the stream, like, wait, there's no cat. Where's this cat at?
Yeah, you always
Kind of,
crop out where Jenna likes to sit.
yeah, I'm a hater. Maybe I'll make a custom little cat cam spot there on the bottom. Bright Lights had only a single short printed card. What was it?
I think that it was Singularity.
It was not. It was less rare than that. It was Maximum Velocity.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know why. Yeah.
Well, they probably short printed it simply because it is a reprint of a Majestic.
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah. Maybe. That would line up. A
I don't
lot
know
of
if
these
they've
are
reprinted a Majestic before, like just like a straight up non-foil Majestic in a pack.
outside of like, what, Regicide?
Well,
Or,
I wouldn't consider that a reprint. I would consider that finishing up the print they meant to print.
no. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of these have to do with short printing. I have a special relationship with short printing where I hate it and it makes EVs miserable. But it brings us to our next question, which is which set was the last to short print cards other than Majestics?
Okay, so they only short printed Majestics up after a certain point. I'm trying to think like what they would have short printed previously that wouldn't have been. The thing that makes sense to me in my head as a guess, because I really don't know, I'm gonna have to say Everfest, because I would think that they should have short printed some of those amulets, even though they probably didn't.
They 100% should have, but no, actually a little older than that. It was Crucible. Crucible had short printed commons and rares.
Oh, did they short print? What was it? The mandible claws and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they just made
with
things
the
that
left
really
and right.
complicated.
Yeah, because they short print the left and right side, and you end up with an average of a single normal printed card, I think.
Extra short printing. My most hated feature of Flesh and Blood was when they were like, you know what was cool about short printing? Let's do it again. So a lot of Majestics and these sets would be short printed to 75% and 50%, or 66% and 50%. This was done in 3 sets. Do you know?
I know. I think one. I'm almost positive that one set is Dynasty because of all those weapons.
Yep.
They did really weird print numbers on those weapons. So then, what are some other sets that would have had things that would be shorted. This is a really tough question. Let's go with, just to keep things moving along, I'm gonna guess Outsiders because you hate it, and Heavy Hitters.
Close. Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh,
Was the
okay.
third. Yeah.
Oh wait, was it Outsiders?
Yeah, Dynasty, Outsiders, Dusk Till Dawn. Oh, I said Dust Till Dawn. Dumb set. Okay, never mind.
Well, wait, what was the super short printed cards in Outsiders and Dusk Till Dawn? Because I knew what Dynasty
just
was.
random. Yeah, like Dynasty, I know had like the Imperial Ledgers were all special short printed, and then
there
the
was,
weapons. Yeah.
And the fucking fireworks.
Yeah,
that was the weirdest thing they short printed, the cold foil and rainbow foil. What's it called? Something barrel? I don't know.
Oh, I just copy and pasted it. Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, I
signed
did.
my guest book.
Oh, well. Yeah, you like that? I like that up there. Little pen.
Only one set has more than 7 legendaries.
Which was surprising to me. I feel like even 7, I think, is only in like 2 or 3 of them. Most of them sit around 4 or 5. So one of them though lives at 8. I think. Was it 8 or 9? I think it was 8.
I'm going to guess, and I'm going to guess simply because of the legendary Eclipse and Doomsday. I think it's Monarch.
Close. The typo. I was trying to fix this typo because I actually just copy and pasted it from the last slide. Dust Till Dawn. That's
Dusty.
You know.
Well, oh man, I did not realize that's got 8 legendaries in it.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, right? Isn't that crazy?
And they're not bad legendaries, are they? Or no, they're mostly horrible.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they're all bad, but
well, the first one that came to mind was Dyadic Carapace, and the Dyadic Carapace is just super sick. It's probably like the one card you want to pull out of that set, to be honest.
So I think, even though it's not an official expansion slot, I think they had like expansion slot cards still in one of the legendaries. I think this is the set that was the first to have a legendary in the expansion slot, if I remember correctly.
I don't think that's ever happened.
No, it has. It's happened once with I don't remember if it was this one. It was what was it, War Band of Baloney? That.
Oh, wait. Warband of Bologna? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that was the expansion slot. Weird, right?
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
Meet me at MySpace. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love these little. I was on GIF. Was it GIF Cities, which was all the old GeoCities GIFs. You could search and find all the cool ones. I was like, I missed this one.
How did I not know that you said it GIFs? Do you just say
GIFs?
Did you just decide to say GIF because you're a bad person? What?
GIFs? I mean, there's not even another way to say that.
They're GIFs.
There's the correct way, and then the way you said.
Get out of here.
After the removal of super rares, only 2 sets have less than 30 Majestics. What were they?
30 Majestics.
Yeah. It was that. I think they actually tied at 27 each, which was pretty low.
Well, it would have to be like earlier set. Like one, I feel like has got to be Crucible. And maybe it's not, but that's gonna be a guess. Crucible, and probably gonna get all of these wrong. I get most of this wrong, especially the ones that only have partial credit. I want to say Dust Till Dawn again, just because I have a feeling you copy and pasted it many more times.
No, I would never. Yeah, no, I actually, if you would have asked me, I would have said it's the 2 supplementary sets, right? Crucible
I
and
didn't think it was
Everfest.
EVR because they went
But
crazy with the stupid. They were like, "Oh, it's the carnival slot," and they put bingo
yeah,
and fire breathing and shit. So I didn't think it was Everfest.
they had a bunch of crazy Majestics. No, it was actually Uprising and Tales of Aria.
Huh.
Right? I don't think I would have guessed either of those ever. I think I would have guessed like 10 others first.
I mean, Tales of Aria is a funny set because I mean, for not having that many Majestics, it's basically like if you're a Tales of Aria Majestic, you were either hot garbage or like frigging amazing.
Yeah, it was a interesting
And
set.
Uprising, all of that's just bad. I don't even know. Like, if you're not a Marvel Dragon, you don't even want to be an Uprising card.
And even those Marvel Dragon card costs are plummeting. I think there's one. I think was it Tomai? Tomai? I think is the only one. What?
Tomultai.
Tomultai?
Yeah.
Yeah. But even that's dropped like $40 over the last couple months.
I mean, as soon as a Dromai gets announced, it's going to go crazy. I still kind of think I would not be surprised. I want there to be a new adult Dromai legendary. That would be very hype. I love whenever they make legendary heroes. It probably makes people upset, but I like it.
I mean, I was hoping for Shiana, but you know, it's
First edition Shiana is so disappointing. It's so disappointing. I hate that, dude. Those early cold foil heroes, like the early promos, like I would really love to have a cold foil Rhinar from like the early days, the Reckless Rampage. But the problem is that even if I did have it, it's not even like, aside from just knowing that it's rare, it doesn't really look that special because those old cold foil heroes, they only cold foiled the border. Like my cold foil chain from back whenever I was playing a whole bunch, like at my most competitive, it's like I swear, if it wasn't the fact that I know that the cold foil is more rare, I would just use the rainbow foil because it's like I'm not even looking at the border. Why'd you only do the border? I don't care.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think Everfest was the first time they realized that they're like, hey, we're gonna start cold foiling the actual art of the heroes now, because it was like Icelander's cold foil and Star of the Show's cold foil. Those were the first hero cold foils that I remember that actually had cold foil on the body. Or actually, here's a quiz question. It might have been the WTR Young Heroes that they gave out the cold foils of for the Farewell Welcome to Wraith event. Those might have been the first cold foil hero cards with cold foil art on actually on the art, not just the border.
Oh, I'll have to look into that. That'd be cool to know. But we were just talking about Crucible. Two sets have less than 200 cards, little baby sets. One of them was Crucible. What was the other one?
The other baby set besides Crucible, I want to say Uprising.
Really? No. I thought I spoiled this one.
Was it Dust Till Dawn?
No, it was Everfest. The supplemental sets. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if I had a brain in my head, I would have realized that, but.
Oh well, all right. Oh, this is
to be honest, I really don't like Everfest. The only thing that I like about Everfest is that they printed Swing Big.
It's a shame. It's one of my favorite sets. Which set officially added the expansion slot? There was some unofficial expansion slot talk early on in the days, but according to the collector's center, it was officially listed and categorized under what set?
Bright lights.
Was Bright Lights. The
I know because
last.
I still need that friggin' third already dead.
Yeah. All right, last question. What was the first set printed in Japan?
Pretty sure it's part of the Mist Veil, unless this is a trick question and they made some Japanese WTR or something. I'm gonna say Mist Veil.
Should have went with your second thought.
They did a WTR Unlimited Japanese run? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. It's just I thought that the first set they did in Japan was part of the Mist Veil.
No, they almost immediately went to printing in Japan. It looks like. I think the start of the print date for WTR Unlimited was, I think it said June 2020. So,
Okay.
yeah, it was much sooner than I thought. Like looking at it.
That's weird considering they made such a big deal about MST.
Yeah, well, I think that was the first set they released in Japan because they didn't have Japanese language support yet. So part of the misfit was that one.
I totally didn't even understand that question. I'm a dummy.
Oh, yeah, printed in Japanese. Okay, yeah, nope. Yeah, printed in Japanese would have been part of the misfill.
If I would have actually understood that you meant that the printing press was in Japan, I would have known that. But that's fine.
Sorry, that was it. That was. I was reading up. Oh, there's just so many cool little facts and nuggets hidden throughout the collector center, and I was taking note of them as I was finishing up my sheets. So thought I'd see how that went.
Yeah, the problem is that the Leo's not giving me his brain cell, so I couldn't get.
All right.
So, we didn't talk about Dumpster Dive last week, but I really liked some of these decks, and I want to make sure that we go back to it because I really want to play more Commoner. I think if we actually get things started here at the local LGS, we'll actually do Commoner decks first for our armories if we can, and I changed one of my favorite decks. The fact that they made a Croon Chant deck, where it's just like, okay, make it, but every single card has to be something to do with like singing or something. That's top tier. What's your favorite out of this?
Well, I was going to say, like, I really thought that was interesting also because I think in my first box opening for Rosetta, I was talking about how weird it was that there were so many music themed cards throughout it. And I was like, why are there so many of them here? But then we learn about, James White and his whole family are very musically inclined. So that came up. What was Which
makes me a little bit sad that there isn't more bard support. When are we gonna get like the actual combat bard? Give them some charisma checks. I could imagine them making a bard class that maybe doesn't have so much damage, but they're actually more of a fatigue class that tries to like be like they would be in my mind. My idea for it would be they would be the first class to like be able to like make you discard 2 cards, but they're they wouldn't really be doing a whole lot of damage. They would just make you out of cards, and like the win condition on the hero is like if your opponent's deck is ever empty, they lose the game.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've been really wanting a bard deck for a while. Sorry, this ladybug is.
You're always having things with ladybugs. Is that like, are you and the ladybug friends now because of the shard?
Oh yeah. No, I think this one just like killed itself. I don't understand what it's doing. It like splayed out all of itself and then flipped on its back, and it's just like spinning its little legs. Okay. Anyway, sorry, that was very distracting. I don't know what it's doing. But I was gonna say my favorite deck was definitely the Croon Chance too, actually, of those ones. But just because I really enjoy a silly theme, and it was a silly theme that we've picked out previously. I mean, the other. Let's see, what else was there? There was.
I
Alleyway
sort of
Antics.
the one that I hate is actually the KO deck. The one that's like, oh, just run all 5 so that you never get to double, and then it's just like, okay. Like I appreciate the meme that it's just like, okay, we're gonna play KO but then never roll, but like, okay, so you're playing a blank hero with 19 health? Cool. Thumbs up.
I don't know. I think it was kind of well. I think we were talking about like the dice and the gambling and stuff earlier. Well, not today, but we were talking about random. We were talking about the hunted, all the dice and the rolling, and I did think it's just one of those things that in my head I was like, oh yeah, we are just talking about like the gambling stuff and
Well,
all the dice rolling, and then someone makes a deck that's like, nope, no dice rolls. I was like,
I mean,
yeah,
I guess I just have to appreciate it because it's just supposed to be a joke. Like if you roll up
yeah.
against the KO and then they just never roll dice. But still, I like whenever it's a little bit more like I'm actually gonna do something.
No, nah. Yeah, it's just got to be funny. That's the real
Because like
secret.
even the Azalea Talishar deck, okay, like sure you can't get dominate on an arrow, but you could still cycle cards out of your arsenal. So at least she still does something when she's not using a bow.
Yeah.
But anyway, this was actually one of my favorite dumpster dives. That's why I wanted to make sure we mentioned it. I mean, I like reading the dumpster dive articles, but I thought I liked the Azalea and the Croon Chance, but and I thought the KO Berserker Runt was especially stupid, so worth mentioning too.
Yeah, I think it actually. I don't know. The Alleyway Antics deck has some of my like favorite art that's featured in it, like Memorial Ground. Like even like Moonwish and Sunkiss have that kind of like. I don't want to say fuzzy, but like that kind of older style, like oil painting look. And Cadaverous Contraband, I don't know if I've ever really looked at.
Oh, really?
But I love that art. That reminds me just of like Sea of Thieves or shoot, what other game was? Even in like New World, like the swamp cities and like the seaside cities are all stacked up like that, along like the rocks and everything. And I always really enjoy that aesthetic. So
Yeah, that's like the first peek at the pits from Arcane Rising. And that card in particular, like I don't think really anybody does it anymore unless they're just like still have an old deck, but whenever people would try and usually if you're playing Grindr, you're not really on a meta deck, so it doesn't matter, but Cadaverous Contraband is a really fun card in Rhinar just to recycle Blood Rush Bellows.
Yeah. I mean, this KO does not have interesting looking ones. Like, the Demolition Crew is a classic. I don't know. It's such a weird, unique art to it, but
I really like Demolition Crew, but I've heard a lot of people say they hate it.
yeah, it's definitely a mixed bag. Surging Militia is great because I love child soldiers. I'm like, like, give that little kid a sword. Let's go. And oh,
Okay.
so
Okay.
yeah. I'm pro child soldier. It's a hot take, but
Well, speaking of hot takes, I've actually got a really hot take that you, as somebody who is more of a collector seller, might take issue with. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has this thing that they released back in 2019 called Duel Devastator. And it had a bunch of cards in it that were basically just like generic cards that most decks could use. And it would be like anti-meta cards. So, like, if your opponent did something like search their deck or put something into their graveyard or etc. Right? You would have the hand trap to stop that.
And I think
And,
specifically it was all ultra rares, right? It was, I
well,
think, 46 ultra rares.
I didn't want to specifically go into like the rarity right off the bat because I don't really care if the rarity is not as important to me. I do think that some of the cards should be alternate art just for a reason to pick it up. But my thought process was yes, every single card in Duel Devastator was ultra rare, but at least in Yu-Gi-Oh, the foiling doesn't necessarily equate to value. Like you can have an ultra rare that's $1 and a secret rare that's $1, and it's really just like whatever they decided to print the card in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, even on market now, you can go and get this Duel Devastator for like $68, which I don't know if that's more or less than just trying to pick up all those singles by themselves. It's probably more at this point. Um, but I remember before I played Flesh and Blood, I was like, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh back when I was a kid. I played it for a long time, and right in 2019 was like when I was starting to get back into it and I wanted to play cards again. And I just bought 3 Duel Devastators and I was practically ready to go. I could just start. I was like, "Oh, okay, I get all these basics now. Like I get how to like you can start messing around. Like you don't necessarily have everything to make a deck because it's like, okay, well, if you're going to play dragons, you still need to go and get the dragon engines, or if you want to play, you know, fire, you got to go and get the pyros or whatever, you know. But it was a bunch of generic meta cards. And in Yu-Gi-Oh, they reprint things way more often. So by the time Duel Devastator came out, I don't think that the pricing was really affected. Like I think Ash Blossom was always like around a $10 a copy card, something like that. Um anyway, my thought was 52 cards because they like to do 52. Now, you know, if you look at the Blitz rules, you end up with 52 cards in your total deck counting your hero. So I thought it would be kind of, nice. They could call it 52. They could even just put it like in a plain deck box. But it was all kinds of cards ranging from great to horrible because even in the box I'm talking about, it had some horrible cards in it. Like nobody would play Wave Motion Cannon except if you wanted to build a Wave Motion Cannon deck and then you build a Stall Stun deck and you could do it. Like Fog Down is a card that I chose because, well, nobody plays Fog Down. Uh, Maybe one day there will be a reason to play Fog Down. It makes sense. There are other cards were like Nasty Surprise, Command and Conquer, Warmonger's Diplomacy, Red Sink Below, Red Looking for a Scrap, Null Rune, Spell Void. So all along, like from nothing cards to dollar cards to $100 cards, and you just get one of each. So that if you really wanted 3 of each, you would have to buy 3 of them. And maybe they're alternate art. They don't have to be foil. I don't really care about the foil rarity. I don't care if like the Sink Belows are the same art or if they do an alternate art. But really, I was just thinking they need to do a bunch of reprints. The game is having a bit of a surge, and I think that if there was something where somebody could like actually say like, okay, Command and Conquers, 3 Command and Conquers for $300 is too much for me, but you put out, you know, a $60 set of 52 cards, but you buy 3 of them, that's still $180. Would you pay $180 for 3 Command and Conquers, plus 3 Enlightened Strikes, plus 3 Warmonger's Diplomacy, etc., and your staple Null Rune that you might not have and Spell Void that you might not have if you just started playing the game?
I think if they put all these 52 cards in a box, they would not sell it for less than $300 for just one
Really?
of each of these. Yeah.
I just don't think that a $300 product can happen. I don't think that even I
Yeah.
think
Well,
that
I think
that would.
that's, yeah. Well, I mean, I think that just kind of also is my feelings on these particular ones. Like, if you get rid of the Command and Conquer, the Warmongers, and the E Strike, you could probably do all these for like $20 pretty
Yeah, but then
easily.
that's sort of like totally erases the point. Because I don't think that, like, it's nice to get sync belows and stuff, and that's sort of in there just to be like more enticing. But I mean, I guess I
I,
just don't understand needing the generics to be at that price point. They've already shown that they're gonna print strong cards like Felling the Crown. You know, I'm not saying that they need to reprint or make sure that those cards are cheap, because somebody could just be like, okay, don't play an Earth Hero, play an Ice Hero, or whatever. But like the generics, the things that people get so hung up on it, and it's and I don't necessarily think that it's LS's job to baby people and make sure that all that can happen, but like I I don't really know if like, does a card have to be $100? Like, and if they did print a box set like this, how much would it crater? Like, if they printed a decent amount, would it go to speculators? And then if it all went to speculators, would people buy it? Like, I
no,
don't know.
every speculator would buy the hell out of these. I mean, but it would also tank every bit of like collectability left in the game. Like
But from
there's
what I've heard, people don't even counterfeit fab cards anymore. Like, is this really something that a scalper would target if they even put it out?
well, I mean, the a lot of the health of the game has to do with the value of the sealed and its older cards, and most of their sealed is already in the like dumpster, like immediately. I mean, nothing stays at MSRP, right? Like that's something they have to fix, and tanking the cost of a whole bunch of cards is not going to help fix that. And it's not just a thing they're gonna have to fix for like collectors, but for stores. For stores to make money off this game, you can't have a game immediately lose 30% of MSRP value before the set even comes out. And you know, the things propping up some of these older sets, and sets are, you know, these big money cards, and as soon as you know, start hacking away at everything that supports the whole, you know, secondary market, I just don't think it's a good idea for them to get involved and try to screw up the secondary market. I mean, they've already tried it before, right? History packs are gross. I mean, I don't even white
You done the
bordered
EV
cards.
on those?
No, I don't touch those. I don't even care. Like it's just not something, I don't know, that any normal person wants. I don't think. Like, I don't know, it is the mark of shame, right? Like the prices didn't crater as much as they wanted. I mean, they really tried to ruin value in a whole lot of cards, and then people were like, no, we don't want low prices, we want our prices high. And boy diddly did they stay high. Well, no, I mean, not that high. I think a lot of them dropped like what, $20-$30.
Well, they did, but I mean, what's White Border Command and Conquer at now? It probably already equalized. And I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, even if it was 80, people would still complain.
yeah. I mean, people are just always going to complain either way. I would
I
not
guess
want
I
them to
just
do stuff
don't.
that's going to hurt the stores more
I
than
don't.
they're
I
already
don't
doing.
know what is the level of like what is the level that could be reprinted? Like, because I don't know.
I mean, I think you just have to price them accordingly. I mean, you look at like Jarl's pre-made deck, right? They're like, oh, he's getting legendary, but they bumped that up to $70 to, you know, to take that into consideration. Because if they didn't, if they just started pumping out cheap, you know, legendaries, then I mean, it's a slippery slope with the rest of your cards' values. And they're finally regaining trust in like the community and the pricing. So I don't know. I don't see it. Oh yeah, Command and
Yeah, I mean,
Conquer's back to 100.
oh yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
never. I guess I just So like for me personally, it doesn't really matter. I see either side of it, to be honest with you. Like I have all my staples, I have all my collectible stuff. It's nice to know that I can sell them for the same or more than I bought them for, because, you know, it's not golf clubs that I used every weekend for 3 years and now they're worthless, or, you know, at least heavily used and worth less than they were. But then also, you know, people who start playing the game, they look and they're like, well, I don't want to spend $300 on Command and Conquer. Now, I don't quite understand why that has to mean that they can't play the game at all,
Well,
but
and
that
that's it,
seems to
right?
be what people jump to the conclusion of.
That's the mindset that needs fixed more than anything. Is that, oops, didn't realize those moved. Is that you don't need those unless you're on a pro level like tournament. Like, I'm sorry, but you know, you don't roll up to a brand new game as like, oh, I want the deck that won Worlds, right? And then you do that in any game and you're dropping over $1,000, right? But that's just not realistic. I think that's maybe why, you know, Blitz is a better opener, Commoner is a better, you know, beginner. And then after a year or so, you know, you can slowly build up to it. But even a lot of your most competitive decks that you're going to win your armories with aren't going to have these cards. So people get hung up on situations that don't exist. It's all in their head and they just need to get over it.
I'll be honest with you, I've lost a bunch of games with Command and Conquer as well. And it's always fun whenever you just have to block with it.
Yeah.
If you ever play a game and block with all 3 copies of your Command and Conquer, have you lost money?
Yeah. Yeah. No. You know, and there are things you can buy slowly over time, right? Like, no one starts the games like, I'm playing Worlds tomorrow. And it's like, no, right? Like, you're going to play a lot, you're going to play test. And then if you do want to get competitive, you know, you can start splurging $50, $60 here and there, $100 there to slowly build them up. And then, like I said, I mean, once you've bought them, they work in all your decks, and you can't say that about a lot of other games.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I guess I. So the reason I came up with that list is because I wanted to actually just talk about, like, you know, how expensive is too expensive, slash, like, do they need to, like, how much do they need to do, right? Because on some level, I definitely agree with you on, like, it's nice to save up and then have like a cool piece to like play with. And I think that a lot of people maybe just haven't hit that point where they enjoy the collecting aspect of it along with playing. And maybe I just come from older Magic. Like I really love playing Legacy. And like even nowadays, whenever I'm thinking about Magic, because I don't quite hate it anymore, I really did take it personally for a long time that Magic was selling out in my mind. But now I'm just sort of like, like who cares? Corporations are gonna be corporation. I can't, you know, maybe it's not my favorite game, and I'm really only playing it socially. But like old legacy cards, you know, that's the type of thing. Like, you know, Lion's Eye Diamond's one of my favorite combo pieces from old Magic, and it's something that's actually on the reserve list that they wouldn't reprint. You know, fingers crossed.
yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I look at, you know, I've opened collector sets of like Magic and stuff, and even the new like One Piece sets. It's not uncommon for you know, a lot of these $100+ cards, and I don't know. That doesn't make the game worse. I don't know. It just seems weird. I think the problem isn't even necessarily the pricing. I think the problem with Flesh and Blood is that it has a high skill floor, which just means it takes longer to like get good at the game. And in a
It's
lot of
very
people's minds, right, it's much easier to blame, like, oh, well, if I would have had Command and Conquers, I would have won this game, or something like that. And they're like, and I just can't, you know, they think they're getting paywalled when really they just got to get good. Like,
I I really like on some level I don't want to say that because there's hopefully at least some people who are self-aware enough to realize like hey, I should have blocked better or something. But yeah, it's true. People do like to have an excuse. And if you start playing and you start losing and you don't have Command and Conquer, and your sync below got hit out of your arsenal by somebody else's Command and Conquer, like you're immediately salty, and then like, are you gonna like how personally are you gonna take it that you can't Command and Conquer them back?
Yeah. So I think that's probably realistically more the problem. I did get almost irate with myself reading the subreddit today because someone was I just saw a topic where someone's complaining like, how can anyone like this game when you have to spend $1,600 on a deck? And it's like, well, bro, I mean, it sounds like you're reading 2-year-old articles. A competitive deck is close to like $1,000 now, but also like you're not at a competitive enough level where you're spending that much on a deck. So like, dial it down. I don't know.
I honestly try not to look at the Reddit too much nowadays. It's really annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't care if you think that it should be game pieces and reprinted. Like, if you think it should be reprinted, you think it shouldn't be reprinted. Don't. I hate the thought of like somebody has an opinion and now you have to respond to them and tell them that they're a fucking idiot because they don't have the same opinion as you. And maybe you're not saying that word for word, but I tell you what, the snarky bullshit, it's like 99.999% of Redditors need a smack in the mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. It is a level of like lack of self-awareness that is infuriating at times. And I don't know, people just think like, oh yeah, well, I mean, at the like, to keep these people happy, you would just print the cards off and play, right? Like I'm sorry, there has to be an economy to it, but that's just how it has to go. Like, if you want stores to sell your product, they have to know they're going to make money. And, you know, if you remove all ability for money to exist in your game, then no one's going to sell it. And that's just like, then you're like, oh, why is my game dead now? And it's like, well, I don't know. It's real weird how that happens, right? Like,
it is the eternal debate of like whether, you know, do you reprint, do you not reprint? I hate talking about Rudy sometimes because I like Rudy. Like, I think it's hard not to look up to him as somebody that buys and collects trading cards because he fucking made a shit ton of money on cardboard, and that's just respect. You know, whatever you actually think of how he acts or whatever, he did what a lot of us would have really loved to do.
Right? Yeah, and that's and I mean, a lot of it's time. I think more than anything, you know, it's a saying that I like to talk about. I think I've brought it up several times before, but luck, right? They're like, oh, they just got lucky. They got lucky. But luck is preparedness meeting opportunity, right? And yeah, I mean,
you were prepared to buy a bunch of widespread ruins, and you had the opportunity for somebody to send you the extended art by accident.
Right.
And that's how the luck lines up.
Well, you just got to buy enough, and eventually you'll find an idiot. I don't know. That's how it is. And you know what? I found, you know, those 5 tectonic plates. You know what? If I didn't have just a cash reserve, you know, sitting around.
You can't get those tectonic platings. You will be absolutely unsufferable if you get a single.
No, can't wait. No, but it's gonna happen. I'm definitely getting an alpha first edition cold foil, at least 4 probably. I would say it's. No,
did you see Gnarly Gnomes down in our chat?
Oh yeah,
he's the intelligent Redditor.
Oh.
Oh man, he's getting a little shade.
Yeah,
but that's okay. You know,
yeah.
It's okay. I mean, we all do wish that we had rich parents. It's hard not to be jealous, to be honest.
I mean, I do too. I mean, I grew up on food stamps. Like, we had the lunch truck. You go down, you get your bags of groceries from the big military truck, and you know, that was growing up. But like, and, you know, even like Rudy's story, right? Rudy, he was a mechanic, you know, working on cars initially, and then one thing led to another, and now he's got a cardboard empire. So I don't know. It's, you know, you squirrel away a little here and there, and
Yeah, maybe
just
one
do what you
day.
can. Yeah.
So we finally decided that's the end of the debate. You know, they don't need to ever reprint anything. They actually need a reserved list, and
Oh,
then never print anything ever again.
I
And
would love a reserved list. Do you think they'll ever do it?
you know, they love to do little things that other people have done before. Which I mean, maybe that sounds stupid. You know, it's like, you know, Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it. You know, but like, yeah, I could see them do a reserved list at some point.
I think they will never do a reserve list as much as I want it. And I think it's solely because, you know, we talk about these strong older cards. And while, yes, you do see, you know, a lot of Command and Conquerors, and, you know, Warmongers now more recently. But I think, and I've said it for years, I think the fix is more non-generic, either talent, class, or whatever, specific cards that just fill the slot better. And yes, it is a type of power creep, but I think that's the way you move away from these old generics and remove the need to reprint, remove the need to do reserve list. And I
It's
think they're
actually a
doing
bit
it.
of a good point. What we should do is go through the Living Legend deck list. I want to know how many Living Legend decks have Command and Conquers.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that'd be cool to know.
Because when you think about Starvo, you don't have room for generics. You know, you're playing Chain, you don't have room for generics.
Yeah, and that's what, you know, I think that's one of the reasons the price does drop on some of these. Even if, I mean, it's not like they're getting weaker. If anything, the rest of the cards are getting stronger. So, and it's like, I think that's the right way. I think that's the right way to address it, and I think that they've been doing it very well over the last like year and a half. Finally, I think, you know, we get the gross taste of white bordered garbage sets out of your mouth, like bleh, you know, throw those away in the dumpster, and then just make better cards, easy peasy. You just, and
I
they did
mean,
it.
I actually have a feeling that some people would have a real fit if they printed something felling the crown level every set, even though that would be absolutely based. Like
Yeah.
there has to be a felling the crown in every single set. There has to be that little bit of spiciness, that little bit of power creep.
Well, and this is kind of where I think that they're maybe overcorrecting, because it does really feel like, you know, those big money cards, those really powerful cards, tend to be moving more and more to those expanse slots. And
Well, felling and plow are not.
oh, they weren't, but I mean, looking at some of the other sets,
Because I'm thinking felling the crown, plow under. I'm thinking levels of enlightenment, and what was something that they put? Oh, the weakest link. Well, the weakest link was generic. That's an awful example. Shit. I don't know if there was a non-generic M in heavy hitters. Maybe it was just Misspell and Rosetta that did well in that regard. Because Levels of Enlightenment's a pretty sick card, but that started to go up and is only necessary for Misspell heroes.
yeah, and I'm curious also about the gem packs. Let me see. Do I still have the list of? They have a breakdown of what cards are going to be, what type of cards are going to be in it, not like the exact cards.
Do you think Command and Conquer in there would be too much? Do you think that would be a problem?
Yeah.
What's your thought on that?
I don't think we'll see a Command and Conquer. If we see Command and Conquer, I think we are at a point where it's not even necessary anymore. I could see a Codex potentially. Okay, so there's, yeah, the gem packs are 32 cards, 1 Marvel, 8 cool foils, 27 rainbow. But wait, I thought they did a breakdown of the actual rarities.
I think they just
Maybe
said that it
not.
will have premium rarity cards. And yeah, I mean, I wish it had CNC or Warmonger's Diplomacy, but if it doesn't have Codex of Frailty, that would actually be like it's got to have Codex of Frailty, and what would be like a
Because,
ninja?
well, I was gonna say, like, realistically, how many decks are running Codex Frailty right now?
Well, so the problem with Codex of Frailty is that it is such a power card that like so like every time somebody says I can't play the game because of Command and Conquer, if they wanted to play Assassin, they would be way more close to correct if they said I can't play the game because of Codex of Frailty. I, I have way more sympathy for somebody that is like, man, I can't afford Codex of Frailty than somebody is like, man, I can't afford Command and Conquer, because Codex of Frailty does hurt. Because that, like, Codex of Frailty is even worse than Felling the Crown right now. Because Codex of Frailty, I think, is over $80.
82.
Yeah, and that's one that I actually can't, because if you want to play Assassin, okay, you got to get that $80 playset, and then what's a playset of Leave No Witnesses? What's a playset of Surgical Extraction? What's a playset of what the heck is it? I'm losing my mind. The Mistveil M's. You know, there's a lot of Assassin cards that are expensive. Codex could deal with a reprint for real.
I mean, with Hunted coming up, I would be surprised if, you know, we're not getting a replacement or something better. I mean, this is the set to do it in.
It's more likely that they'll power creep Codex.
Yeah. Though, I mean, I would say these non-generic cards like this, I think I'd be far more okay with them reprinting. Like, I could see Codex going into an Assassin deck, like Armory deck.
Oh man, that I didn't consider that. If they put Codex of Frailty, like if they made an Armory deck and put Codex of Frailty in it, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised that you would rather have it be in an Armory deck than the Gem Pack, to be honest. Because the Armory deck, then that's like printed way more.
I don't know if that's going to be true.
Do you think that there's going to be more Gem Packs than Jarl decks?
I mean, we're already, let's see, how many, let me see what the breakdown, how decks were. I mean,
do we have, I don't even think we have print info on any of the decks, like not even KO yet, do we?
No, some of the older ones, they're out, but I mean, there's just gonna be so many gem packs, like a lot of gem packs. I just don't see them. I mean, it's 50 packs per carton, 1 to 2 cartons every 3 months for every store. Like, even at 1 pack only for what?
Yeah, but
4,000.
No, yeah, but only take into account that they're only gonna get 2 cartons, like, because it'll be a different season and a different set of cards. So like Codex will be in this one for like 2 times you get a carton, you know, and then by the time you get that 3rd carton, it'll be Gem Pack 2.
Yeah, but minimum, like if we were only talking 1 carton per store, we're still looking at like 20,000 packs probably.
Okay, 20,000 packs, but then like the Codex would not be in every single pack. I mean,
no.
I don't. Yeah. So.
But okay, the other side of that is I don't know. I think the gem packs are more geared for generics and reprints to generics, which I don't want to see, but I think is more likely to happen. And Armory decks and like class specific packs, I think are, or, you know, like the supplementals, I think are more geared for cards like Codex of Frailty, where you're really only going to need it for an assassin, right? Like, I mean, you can trade it off, right?
No. It's Assassin Ranger. That's part of what makes it so dang expensive. Is that Azalea also uses it, and so does Riptide.
Oh, well, all 10 Riptide and Azalea players in the world can get over it. That's
I mean, as soon as they get, hey man, as soon as that lightning ice ranger comes out and you buy your yacht, you're gonna wish you had codexes to go with it.
That is true. Oh man, it's gotta come one of these days. Now, but yeah, no, yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of having like these class cards in the armory decks. I really like the armory decks. And I think it's a good way to kind of like sprinkle in some of the more expensive, like higher end or higher rarity cards without completely tanking the value of everything. So,
Yeah, I mean, I did think it was a little strange that so they reprinted Mangle and they reprinted Exposed to the Elements, but they didn't reprint like Channel Lake Frigid, so that at least let them. It showed like what they're not willing to, take the value of. Like another Majestic that they could have put in that would be like Terra Sunder. They didn't reprint that. I'm actually surprised that they didn't put like one copy of Blizzard or Hypothermia in it even. Like I feel like the things that they've reprinted in Armory decks haven't even been close to that good. Like they have made their own new Majestics that are pretty good. There's some good stuff in these decks, but like if they put a codex in the Armory, Gnome's right, like it'll 100% get sold out. Like I guess I just kind of surprised that you think it should be in an Armory deck based on your other positions, but
I mean, if it's just one,
I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, well, because price. Well, right. So the individual value of the cards in those armory decks are also crap. Usually, like a lot of the times, except for those cards. Well, and I think this is why they make armory deck specific cards, is because if you just went out and bought those cards individually, it's much less than the armory deck cost is. I think I did the price out on Azalea Armory, and it was, you could buy each of those cards for half the cost of the armory deck itself.
Not counting the rainbow foils, though, right?
Yeah. So
like if you bought 3 copies of the non-foils, that would be cheaper. But if you bought 2 copies of the non-foil and 1 of the rainbow foil, it wouldn't, right?
Actually, I don't. I think. Well, I might have had some rainbow foils when I was doing it for the Azalea.
Because I think it's important to take that into account, because I'm really close to like ordering like some extra rainbow foil frozen to deaths and stuff like that. Just for the simple fact that they printed block 3 ice cards and Starvo was like, yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how are the Jarl decks doing value? That would be an interesting one to price out. But no, I mean,
Num says what's not currently true for Jarl, that you can't buy the singles for the price of the deck. Is that what it was?
I would guess so. But and that's why I think it's good. I think the decision. Well, Jarl has other problems. I don't know.
I mean, he did get a top, so I mean, deck works.
Yeah,
I didn't think. Listen, so I'm a fab old head. I'm used to Winter's Wail and not even blinking, right? Like, so a lot of my initial thought of Jarl was he's bad because he's not as strong as Oldhim, and there's like miles between there where he's not bad. Like he's just not fantastic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, singles are about TCG low. Well, that's good. Yeah, and that's what I was going at. And I think like, yeah, Jarl is the exception, I think. And I think that a lot of that has to do with those deck specific cards, I think, make a big part of that.
Well, I also think that it was something that like the community wanted. Like even if you don't care about the fact that it's Jarl, the guy on Mangle, people wanted a new Ice Earth Guardian. Oh yeah, and those gauntlets are sick. That's one thing that I really loved about Michael Hamilton's list in LL with Starvo, where he used those gauntlets, and as far as I can tell, it was just so that he could have another Earth card to throw in the graveyard earlier.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, oh, we were talking, exposed to elements, right, was in the deck, and I don't think dropped, but I don't think it went up. But Channel Lake Frigid did go up pretty significantly. I think it doubled. So
Well, Channel Lake Frigid went from unplayable to you need three copies. Which
yeah,
it's better to have cards like Channel Lake Frigid because I mean, what's it up to now? Because okay,
it was
Jarl's a
16
popular
last I
deck.
looked. Yeah.
14. Yeah.
14? No, it's not back down, but
I mean, it's always going to go up and down, right? It's going to have the little wobble back and forth as people buy them or decide to play. And the weirdest part is that it's all first editions. Tales of Aria is such a weird set because, like, the first edition stuff is, like, pretty much equally printed to the to the unlimited stuff. So it's like, yeah, it's all about the same. It's still wild to me that Channel Lake Frigid is $14 and something like Felling the Crown is $45. That just makes me think that it's like, what are the print numbers for Rosetta? Like, what's the latest set that we know the print numbers of? Bright Lights we don't know yet, right?
What was the last one? Because they announced like a whole big batch of them on Collectors. See, Dynasty they announced. Uprisings announced. Dusk Till Dawn was the 175. Yeah, Bright Lights is the last one we don't know.
Right, so you said Dusk Till Dawn was 175,000 boxes?
Yep.
Okay, so I mean that's way lower than Tales. At least I'm pretty sure. So I mean, do we think that they kept going down? Like Rosetta is like at 100,000 maybe? Because I'm trying to think of like, because the Earth heroes aren't the top heroes in the game. Like if it was all about like who's the top heroes in the game, like I feel like Channel Lightning Valley and Gone in a Flash and all the Aurora stuff would be way more expensive than the Earth stuff. But as far as I can tell, it's just like, oh, there's some Earth stuff that's kind of rare because the people who play Verdance, Florian, and Starvo want them. Even though I would assume that there has to be more Aurora players than all of those combined. Because I just assume that the game is sweatier than that.
Yeah.
Because, like, if all you care about is topping, you should play Aurora over Florian or Verdance for sure.
I never realized they announced the Everfest Unlimited print run, which they destroyed.
It was almost nothing, right? It was supposed 40, to be like, yeah, there was some accidentals sent out.
Oh, they actually sent out. Okay.
Yes, there was a very small amount that was accidentally set out. So I believe you could possibly get some very collectible EVR Unlimited stuff, but does it actually matter that it's rare? Probably not. Not for a while. You're going to be waiting on that one.
Yeah, maybe that's something I gotta hunt down. I would love. I mean, it's obviously, the best set in the whole game. So, man, I wonder.
I just can't imagine how fucking worthless it would be if it was like a real set, though. Because, like, can't even get a cold foil healing potion anymore.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, they definitely screwed up the printing with that set. But there are a lot of surprises with the value. Which brings us to our second game of the night. Wee woo! Maybe? No?
I mean, hopefully I know these prices a little bit better than I knew some of your, like, set release trivia. Because that set release trivia was abysmal, man. I thought I knew Fab a little bit better than that.
It's okay, you'll get there. I didn't get to doll this one up as well as I like to.
Oh man,
Um,
but your art skills were on full display.
they were.
I really enjoyed the absolute cluster that it was.
Uh,
Oh
oh
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, not quite as good here.
Are we gonna decide which sets are fascist and which sets are socialist?
No, we're gonna. Like I said, I completed my list of EVs of everything. Now,
Oh, wow. Okay. So you actually have like an idea. You've come to a mathematical solution of sets that are good, from bad to good monetarily.
yes. So we can do this a couple ways. We can go. Would you want to try and order the car? This is all per case values.
Per
We can
case,
go
okay.
per case. So would you rather go by EV or by the difference between TCG low and EV?
I okay. So you're saying, uh, if I want to guess entirely on your math that I don't know,
Yep.
or if I want to guess on how much, like, sorry, the
Or
way
my
that
based
you,
on
the
my
way that,
math, yeah. Or based on my math minus the TCG low. Like, what would be the cards you should buy, or like what sets to buy?
okay, so
Maybe EV is probably best.
let's just do straight up EV because I'm confused.
Okay. Okay, so we'll just go. I don't have, so I did EV for everything minus history packs because history packs, and also I do not have Welcome to Wrath Alpha, and I don't have Arcane Rising Alpha, mostly because it's pretty impossible to. You can't just do it through TCG. It involves a lot of research and some historical pricing. On cards that sell like once a year. So
And I mean,
it's
you're just not. Oh, are you're gonna go crack 4 cases of WTR Alpha, even out that EV? No, it's the gambling man's fun time.
right. Oh, here's what I can do. I'll give you the set and the TCG low. And then you can give me maybe a better I don't even know if I want to go number value. I think what I'll do is actually I'll just plop one set into the middle. We're going to start with Welcome to Wrath Unlimited. TCG low for a case is $400. The EV,
So its EV is not anywhere near that.
no, it is pretty firmly at $255. No, $255. It's really not that bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was going by box. You're going by case.
Yeah, case.
So yeah, because if I said 70 a box, then mine would have been like 280. So I was a
If
little
you
high,
want,
but I wasn't
if you
that
want, I
far
can
off.
very quickly divide all these by 4. We can go by box price instead if you want.
If only because that's how I think of these things more easily. I don't know. You open in bulk more than I do. Well, I mean, I guess I open in bulk too. I just like thinking of it on a singular box term for some reason.
Okay, so let me. I'll put some accounting formatting on these. Okay, beautiful. All right, per box. Welcome to Wrath Unlimited, sitting at EV price $63.68.
63, and this is the middle of the road one. Or
No, we're gonna from here. I won't even make you guess. Crazy. We can go.
just higher or lower.
Yeah, higher, above it or below it. That I think that'll make it simpler, and then I can, call out numbers and stuff as they come up.
Let's get the easy one out of the way. Is Everfest? You love Everfest. That's got to be higher, right? Or maybe it could be lower, but it's higher based on your crazy. Is it more than the TCG low rule?
All right, wait. So what are you going? Are you going higher or lower? Well,
I'm gonna say higher. I'm gonna say higher.
It is lower.
Okay.
Everfest EV per box got calculated at $60.50.
So it's only
Now,
lower by like $3.
yeah, but actually, here, let me quickly add a column here to do the TCG low divided by 4. C7 divided by 4. Drag it down, format, copy, paste. Okay. Everfest EV $60.50. TCG low $55.
Okay,
So
so it's good value for what it is, but it is cheaper.
I will say, of all these sets, it's one of only 7 that has a higher EV than box price.
Seven sets with inverted EV sounds pretty nice, though. People should go in there and
Right.
crack those boxes.
Yeah, no, they definitely should, and maybe we can even recommend a couple after this.
All right, let's put one I'm confident about. I think a Rosetta box EV has got to be more than $63.
Rosetta. So you think it's up high, which it is.
I'm gonna
EV
guess 70.
Oh, well, I was gonna tell you this. The TCG low, 79.48.
Okay. But the EV, what is it?
EV 79.68. It is 20 cents off.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that I thought it was gonna be like, a lot lower, but it's like, it's pretty like worth your money.
Yeah, that's why I keep opening it. Like, I really can't emphasize if I say something about spending your money on something, I probably spent my money on it first before recommending it. Like, give myself like a week head start, and then I'll recommend it. But
All right.
yeah,
Well,
I'm big on Rosetta.
Let's take Gnome's advice because, and let's say that MST and heavy hitters are both above 63, but we'll do MST first.
MST has a TCG low of $83.11. So do you
and its
think
actual EV is probably 75?
75.29?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 29 cents off. That's a pretty solid. Actually, this isn't gonna actually have numbers. I don't know.
It's feel based.
Yeah, it feels based on let me see. I should have put actual numbers. I didn't plan on the box. I should
You
have
spent
planned
all
this
this
out a little
time
better.
on actual numbers and then didn't actually put numbers on the graphic, which is just...
You know, that's so much work. I did this. This may surprise you. I did this in about 14 minutes prior to stream. it was pretty rough. I spent more time decorating the PowerPoint, you see.
I mean, I could tell you spent hours trying to rotate that butterfly and make the colors flash.
Right? Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
All right. So
All right.
Heavy hitters. Gnome says that every set from the last year is still a banger, majestic wise. So let's go. Heavy hitters is above $63 EV.
I will first tell you, Heavy Hitters has a TCG low of 74.54.
Okay. So I think the EV is probably at least 65.
It is 79.22.
Hot damn. It's more than MST?
It is. It's between.
Have you
Rosetta and
changed
MST.
your tune?
No. It's still a garbage set. I don't know.
Still hate it.
Still hate it.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah, put it above MST, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
I guess I should.
Okay.
Well,
Bright lights. I know that's above 63 because it's impossible to find Already Dead. Already Dead is a fable.
you would think that. Let's see. Where's Evo? Evo Bright Lights.
I'm gonna say, dude, if Heavy Hitters was 79, fuck it. I think Bright Lights is probably like 81.
So its TCG low is 86.25. and its EV is 7549.
Wow. Evo is still not as good as heavy hitters.
Yeah, but still higher than Mistveil.
I didn't know that it was meant to be played as UPF draft. Is that really? I mean, that's some pretty cool knowledge. I would just like to know where that came from. Like if Gottlieb talked about it or something. I don't know.
Right, where?
But you're right. I haven't played it as UPF draft.
Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Sorry, Mistveil. You continue to sink down the list here.
Yeah, apparently heavy hitters is supposed to be UPF draft. Is that right?
I didn't know that, but that actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Still a bad set.
I mean, they did make the UPF Fable, which I still kind of want. I kind of want to get one of those.
Yeah, I mean, but also I just don't think they advertised it well. I don't. Maybe,
I mean, I didn't
maybe
know
that was
that
the
it was
problem.
supposed to be UPF at all. No, I didn't. All right, so let's go. What's the next?
You want
set
to keep
going
working backwards? Let me say
Yeah.
Dust Till Dawn. Dust Till Dawn. Let's see.
Dust Till Dawn. It recently had a boost, so it's got to be more than 63.
It did. It has a TCG low of 6553 and a calculated EV of
Over
6729.
Nice.
But still, let me see. Where did I put WTR? 63. So it is above Welcome to Wrath. So we'll just have to. We're gonna have to scoot some things down. I can't even move it that far down. No spoilers, but it's okay.
Man, Everfest. I feel like if we did the rate each set on how it feels to open, you might have changed your mind on some of these.
Everfest? No, that's still printing money. It's $5 more a box than I paid for. That's perfect. Outsiders.
Outsiders, I know it's got its day in the sun. It's up
It
there.
does. Its TCG low is at 87.92.
So much. Dude. I mean, I've always felt good about having my Codex of Frailty marbles and everything, but like seeing Outsiders shoot up, and that's literally the set that I have the most of. Like I think I opened 4 cases plus of Outsiders just because I was like, oh shit, Uzuri is now my main. The only problem is that then they put out New, and I'm like, oh shit, New is my main.
Yeah. All right, where do you think Outsiders sits?
Well, you said it's $87 MSR, like not MSRP, TCG low.
Yeah.
And so its EV has to be higher than 63. It absolutely has to be higher than 63. I think that its EV is probably like 79. Let's say 79. Seems like a safe
Oh, you're really wrong. This EV is sitting at $99.12.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, case is sitting about $400 right now. Isn't that crazy?
So you opening some of those soon?
I've definitely been considering it, but no
'Cause you were
spoilers. There's other sets that have a much higher EV over buy price. So
Oh, but this is the highest EV period, right?
no.
No. Okay.
No. But only because Crucible First is in here.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
What's the EV on a box of Crew First? What did your numbers
Crew
say? Because
First.
you spent $370 and opened near $1,500.
yeah. So the case price is much cheaper per box. So I bought, I spent like, well, these aren't, I think it was $3.50 before tax is what I paid per box, but the case price is $12.50 right now for Crucible First.
Okay.
And the EV for that is $3.12 a box.
Oh wow. But its EV is not inverted at all.
It
actually does.
It's $25. Yeah, over low. Oh, sorry. Low is $12.25. EV is $12.50. Sorry. So it's $25, which I mean, percent wise is nothing. So it's about even. So it's about right.
I mean, it's kind of crazy that the box even has an EV that's possible to be like that, because even with like a few expensive cards, it could just be total garbage. But I guess you open up the expensive cards fairly often.
Yeah, every time. You just get 2 cold foils. You just pull a shard, you pull a gambler's glove. Every box, I think. Well, no, I mean, the first box, I got Breeze Rider boots. Then the second box, you get gambler's glove and a shard. It's easy.
I tell you what, I wish
is just money, right?
I wish that I was more of a wizard main whenever I was buying Crucible First, because I got my cold foil mandible claws, and I got my cold foil gambler's gloves, and I got my cold foil skullhorn, which I probably only spent like $20 a card ish on those. And I should have been buying Metacarpus nodes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we've pretty. I mean, I will announce the top 2.
We've hit the top. The Outsiders is crazy, but that's got to be.
It just skyrocketed.
I love to hear it though, because I really want my Codex of Frailty Marvels to eventually be more than I paid for them.
We're gonna move. I think we're gonna have to maybe zigzag a bit here. Well, we'll see.
Everything has to be perfect. That's fine.
Well, no, I just don't want them to overlap a bit. Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
all right. So aside from crew, because we just had to have that little pit stop, what's the next one going backwards?
Dynasty.
Dynasty scares me, because like. You used to be, like, Surgical Extraction used to be an expensive card. Maybe it's expensive again, but not where it was.
So I will say the TCG low of Dynasty is 79.33. TCG low.
I don't think it beats it. I bet its actual EV is like 63.
Ooh,
it's like only right on.
If only it's not was even that high. No, we're sitting down at $56.
The problem is that all these good ones, they've been doing so good at printing money that now we're going back to the old sets and it's garbage.
Yep. Oh no, I accidentally dragged the whole screen. Shoot. Okay.
All right. So what did you say it was again?
56 and 3 cents.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
Dynasty I've opened a lot of Dynasty too, but yeah.
But next we have Uprising. Now, Uprising, we talk about a lot.
Uprising, I want to be good just because there's some cool cards in there. Like Flamescale Furnace has got to be having a good day. But like, if you don't pull a Cold Foil Flamescale Furnace or a Cold Foil Crown of Providence, you're so screwed on that box, I think. I bet its EV is like 50.
Damn close. It's at 52.22.
Yeah, hot garbage. And what's it actually cost?
If you wanted to buy it, it would be $64 a box.
That sucks so bad. Like I think I'd pay like $40 a box for Uprising because I don't even want to draft it.
The sad thing is I think I have to move this whole list up.
Oh no. There's a bunch of more garbage coming.
Yeah.
Like Crucible Unlimited is probably hot trash.
Wait, here we go. This one. Wait, so where are we at? We did Surprising Everest. Well, let's get,
yeah, let's not get out of ourselves. Tales of Aria.
Tales Unlimited. We'll start with Tales Unlimited.
Tails Unlimited and Tails First are kind of close, I think. Like, I think if you were gonna buy a box, I think it's like a difference of like paying $68 or paying $65 or something, unless it's changed recently.
TCG low for unlimited is currently, this is a little silly, more expensive than Tails First. So the
Okay.
TCG low of unlimited is 55.86, and the low for first is 53.50.
Wow. Okay, well, I think these are ones that are actually. I think that's got to be an Everfest situation. I don't think Tails Unlimited has more than WTR. I'm gonna guess Tails Unlimited has like a 60 EV, and I'm gonna guess that Tails First Edition has like a 65 EV.
Tails Unlimited EV is at 41.53.
Oh,
Which, no spoilers, not even bottom three, I don't think. Oh, maybe it
so
is
that
bottom
means
three. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move
that,
this whole list up again.
so that means First isn't even at 60.
First is at 52.
Yeah.
So,
Damn.
right?
You're grabbing Monarch somehow. Tails is top right. Top right. Oh, it's just weird.
Well, it's a whole layer, right? So like it's I can grab it from wherever. All right, so I gotta figure out where to stick in
You
52.
feel like you made that the craziest way possible then.
Three. Well, it's just layers, right? It's let me see.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So that puts this actually 30 cents above Uprising.
It makes me so sad because all those heroes are so fun to play, but they're all banned. I mean, it's not surprising to me that the set is in the dumpster, but like, maybe I should go buy some Tails Aria because I will draft that. That is like that's fun to draft. Because like if everybody's broken, then everybody's powerful, and you can do some nasty stuff in that unlimited set format there. Even if it is the Briar show.
Now we have Monarchs. Monarch Unlimited.
I mean, you made a killing on your last first edition case.
I did.
I think the unlimited and the first edition are both above WTR Unlimited.
TCG low for Monarch Unlimited, $41.68 a box.
Okay.
And Monarch first, $54.68.
That's the TCG low. What's the EV?
The EVs. Oh, okay. You think they're both above
63.
Sorry. Okay. This is where things get interesting. Monarch Unlimited, with a low at 41, has an EV at $33.17.
Wow.
Yeah. Which I do think puts it at the all-time low. This is the lowest EV you'll get out of any set.
Which is crazy because, like, I swear to God, like, if you asked me, would you rather pay $50 for Monarch Unlimited or, like, Everfest? I would kind of want to say Unlimited Monarch. But that's just, like, I don't know. I'm a little bit sad, but there's some really good cards in there that's just got to be, like, maybe if you could find anybody to scoop up a bunch of like $30, $40 Monarch Unlimited boxes, that would be awesome. I love Monarch, even if it did go to shit. Channel Fireball really fucked everybody.
They did. Mon first. TCG low at 54.68. In this, I kind of impacted because I just straight up bought all of them below this. So I bought them up to 54.68, and that's because the EV for Mon first is 76.84.
Okay, so that's the most inverted set that exists now, right?
$88.67 per case higher, which is crazy. But also why I bought 2.5 cases of it. So look forward to a Monarch First opening next week. And
I will.
let me see where I'm putting this. This goes.
I still kind of need to get another cold foil Phantasmal Footsteps.
Yeah, this goes between Bright Lights and Heavy.
And you said you bought it up to 58 $.
Up to 54. Yeah.
54.
I was
Man,
paying 50.
going.
Yeah. Right. I was thinking about it. The problem. Okay, so here's the downside of a lot of these sets that do have these crazy well, this is the only one that's this ridiculous. And I think it's because the high value cards only sell like 4 or 5 a year. I mean, unfortunately, like I'm gonna be sitting on a lot of high value Monarch cards until someone feels like buying it.
Until Monarch Part 3. I've got 3 cold foil carrion husks that is waiting for a new chain to get printed.
Yeah. So I mean, I will say my number one pickup I would say would be Mon First, but also don't expect to have a quick turnaround on it. You really have to be patient and hope that the value sticks up with it. But at an $88 difference, like,
Man, if you're a gambling man, absolutely not financial advice. I love Outsiders. Outsiders is a fun set. I don't particularly like drafting it, although if you updated the draft rules and went with the 30 rule, like, you know how nowadays if you draft, they made it so it's like, okay, you just play 30. It used to be you could play as much as you drafted, whatever. And so a very, very good way to play Outsiders was to just draft 45 playable cards for Riptide. And it made drafting that set not super fun, in my opinion. But I think if you changed the rules and agreed to play, like, 30 card max, that could be a really more fun set than it is to me.
All right. Oh, what do we got left? Crew Unlimited has a TCG low of $74.75.
It can't have a $60 EV because I just don't think Crew, outside of like the cold foil stuff from Crew, which is super collectible, and it's like, I just don't see the Crew Unlimited actually holding up.
Well, it is sitting at 52 and 8 cents. So this sits pretty firmly between Monarch and Tails. It actually just gets beaten by Tails by about a quarter, actually.
And we're about to talk about the set that I believe is probably like, what's the opposite of inverted? Exverted?
Yes.
I think that Arcane Rising Unlimited is the absolute worst bang for buck.
Yeah,
I believe that this EV is like tragically lower than the TCG low, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of $130.
Yeah, 125. If you so with how we're doing it here, I'm just dividing the case value by 4, but a lot of times you'll find individual boxes cheaper. So this isn't the actual TCG low of a particular box, it's just the TCG low of the lowest case divided by 4. But yeah, that puts this at 125 for TCG low. So Arc Unlimited has an EV of what, do you think?
I think Arcane Rising's EV, like, it can't be too low. Like, I feel like it can't be the worst because Command and Conquer exists. Like, you have to pull Command and Conquers every once in a while, and that's just going to pump the EV. But I think that it's probably less than WTR Unlimited EV. What is it?
87.31. Putting
it's still pretty high.
Right below Outsiders.
Yeah, but it's still not worth for how much you got to pay to get it.
Correct. So if you bought a case for 500, your EV is 350. So you lose 150 on average. That's just
Unless
straight losses. Yeah.
yeah, you gotta pull Command and Conquers. You gotta get that rainbow foil Command and Conquer in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a brutal one. Let me
I tell you
see.
what, every time I look at my playset of rainbow foil Command and Conquers, I just wish I could go back in time and kiss myself.
Yeah. So the cards not to buy. We can. I'll call this the sets you absolutely should only buy singles for. Is WTR is a difference of $144. So you're just going to lose money every time. Arc Unlimited is $150. Then the next one is actually $93 at Dynasty. And then what's the next biggest disaster? Crucible Unlimited. But let's see, the three sets that are currently printing money, I will call it, is definitely Monarch First, with a diff of $88.67. Then yeah, for a case. Then the next is only at $44 for Outsiders. And
plus, that's not bad. $10 a box plus.
Yeah, and then what would be the next?
I
Crucible
will
First.
say,
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I will say for having Codex of Frailty in it, for like something that you like honest to God would want to gamble for, it's nice to hear that EV is so high, because like I wouldn't feel bad telling somebody that, hey, if you want to, I don't feel bad telling people to crack packs at all, ever, like, because I like cracking packs, and if you want to crack packs, that's your prerogative. But like telling somebody to open up, like, oh hey, what should I open up that would be fun and like an actual decent gamble? Outsiders, hell yeah.
Yeah, I was like trying to see if I could pull up. I don't know what. Another. I'll do a little teaser of something we've discussed in the past that I wanted to kind of demonstrate more of. Which one's gonna be best for this? Well, Mistfail's not the best one for it. Actually. Oh yeah, because especially since I've been using it as like a scratch pad. No, what's a better one? Oh, let's look at Outsiders. And how do I not have a spreadsheet capture? No. Can I just put it over this one and it'll capture? No. Okay. Let me. Oh, I do have an Excel capture.
Hey, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, but I got to. Oh, nope. Alt. Sorry.
That's still so crazy to see $99 a box EV for Outsiders.
But one of the things I like to look at when I'm doing like calculations like this is the ratio, which you can't. All right, can you see my mouse?
Yeah, I can see the
my
ratio.
mouse.
The 46% into Majestics, because that means, well, for Outsiders, that's actually kind of bad because they're harder to pull.
They are, yeah, they are a bit harder to pull, but what this is just basically like of your pack EV, like what percentage of them is like the Majestics, the Legendaries. But of these, of these five things you're actively pulling, you do kind of want more of your value to be in that Majestic slot. If you're not going to open in bulk, if you're opening small numbers, then you want a higher chunk of your per pack EV to be Majestic, so that you have a higher chance to break even. And that's kind of what I'm showing here. So even though like the EV is like way high, like 22% of your pack's value is legendary. So if you don't pull a legendary, boom, there goes 22 your value. Marvel, there goes 11%, right? Fables, there goes another 5. So it's
just that the Majestic is just such a weird average, because like,
But
I guess there's
you're gonna pull like, yeah, you're gonna pull probably 7.5 Majestics realistically outside of, well, not in this set, but in any other set. And this, let's see,
I mean, you said it was every
I like
5 packs,
5.
so
Yeah.
you're gonna be lucky to get 5 a box.
Yeah, but this also includes the rainbow foils. So,
Oh, the Majestic also includes the rainbow foils.
yeah.
That's such a weird way. I don't know how you would calculate that.
Well, I do the 4x, though it is slightly higher now. But I'm not sure when they switched to 18. It might have been with heavy hitters. I mean, we just don't know because they just didn't talk about it after heavy hitters. But I don't know. This is basically what I do, and then it's just based off of like TCG source. So
And so far with that Monarch first, it worked like gangbusters.
yeah, it's good. I get to learn things. Wait, why is this? Oh, it auto went over to me. Oh well, okay, whatever.
Oh, nice.
It automatically switched.
That's cool.
Yeah, it switched over to my EV totals. So this is what we were doing the whole game off of. Just so I just copy and pasted these off. Yeah, these are some rush columns I made during the stream. This is the per boxes. It's just this divided by 4.
Yeah.
And then this is the difference between these two. So, but my plan is, I think I'm gonna do it monthly. We'll do like a review and see like how things go up and down. We can track EV and TCG load that way as well. So
yeah,
in a couple of weeks,
I'd like to keep like a historical amount so that we could like graph it if that's possible.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to figure out. Because I not only want to do EV, I want to do the ratios as well. And I also want to look at, I'm trying to figure out how to do sell rates. So like, with a set like Mon First, you can look at like, oh, well, it's going to be, I'm printing money, right? Like if I buy a case, I'm just going to make like $8 more or whatever. But
you actually need to click on the Soul Shield and see how many of them sold today.
Right. Yeah. So I'm hoping that's going to be something that can be pulled with like API or something going forward. We'll see.
Have API access.
They opened API access again.
Oh.
But I mean, I don't know how to write anything with. I'm not a web dev. I would have to outsource. And ideally, they want you to monetize it, which I don't think I would do. I mean, I guess I could put some equations and stuff into things, but.
Well, yeah, that's going to be awesome to do that, because I don't know if anybody listening out there used to watch Tommy's Top Picks. I used to love watching Tommy's Top Picks because he would talk about the fab market, and he kept a really nice spreadsheet, but he quit fab, so I stopped watching it just because I was really only watching it for the fab market updates, and it would be cool to do it that as well.
Yeah, and that's kind of like I said, yeah, and I really liked watching, like when Louis used to do like card breakdowns of every set, which was kind of unnecessary, and I would frequently mess with that because I would buy huge amounts of silly cards. So I like to like, oh, that was me, that was my fault. But I think, just at a box level, I really would like to see more talk about it. So be that change, they say. So.
Well, yeah. We're out here collecting flesh and blood.
All right. Well.
We came in just at about 2 hours.
We did. That was some good timing.
We didn't have to stretch it at all. It's fine.
Yeah, and thank everyone for tuning in today. It's good seeing some.
Huge shout out to Gnome. You're the first actual person besides like my wife and our other IRL friends. Thank you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. So. Let's wrap it up. Thank you all for coming. Hit the socials. We do Riled Up every Friday night at 7 p.m. EST. Kick, YouTube, Twitch. Any shout outs for you?
No.